More than 140 years ago, the greedy Angus swung his hammer in search of gold and struck the ground. Suddenly, a total lunar eclipse appeared in the sky. With one powerful swing, Angus unexpectedly smashed a massive hole, revealing a pit filled with hellish magma. His gloves instantly caught fire, and he quickly threw them away. Cautiously, he approached the hole to inspect it, but to his surprise, a cloud of black smoke surged into his mouth. His body floated in the air before crashing heavily to the ground. The intense burning sensation made him wail in pain. Tearing open his shirt, he saw a fiery red ring appear on his chest. After struggling in agony for a moment, he stopped breathing. However, in the next second, he suddenly stood up straight again, his eyes now terrifyingly black. The demon had returned to the human world. 1 month later, our protagonist, Sheriff Feso, had just picked up his daughter from the station when, unexpectedly, a gang of bandits stormed in, firing their guns. After hiding his daughter, the sheriff engaged in a fierce shootout with the bandits. However, he was caught off guard when a bandit attacked him from behind. Shot and wounded, the sheriff instantly traveled to the underworld. At the underworld police station, an interviewer offered him a chance to return to the human world by working for the underworld police to capture spirits that had escaped to the human realm. Eager to return, the sheriff accepted without hesitation. He carefully selected a weapon and stepped into the teleportation chamber, waiting to be sent back. As soon as he exited the teleportation chamber, he encountered an unexpected situation. Looking up, he saw his new partner, Jeanne d'Arc. Jeanne was a veteran underworld officer with 445 years of experience capturing lost souls. The sheriff wanted to go home and see his daughter, but Jeanne stopped him. Due to his transformation, he now looked completely different. In people's eyes, he was an entirely new person. With no other choice, he had to accept this reality. By chance, the two discovered that the prisoners being transported in a prison van were the same bandits from the train station. But one of the bandits had clearly been shot in the head, so how was he alive and inside the van? The two decided to investigate, seizing the opportunity to knock out the guards. Jeanne then took out a vial of holy water and splashed it on one of the bandits. Instantly, a red ring appeared on the bandit's chest, accompanied by a thick black smoke. Countless tentacles emerged from the glowing ring, slowly filling the entire prison van. Moments later, the van was completely torn apart. The sheriff quickly raised his gun and fired, reducing the undead to ashes. Just then, another bandit charged at them and grabbed the sheriff's gun. Jeanne, reacting swiftly, took him down with a well-placed arrow. They captured the third bandit and interrogated him to uncover the truth. Through questioning, they learned that these bandits were already dead. They were under the control of the demon Angus, who was using them to kidnap nearby residents and send them to the mines in Hongxi Town. It seemed Angus had a much bigger plan. Determined to get to the bottom of it, the two took the captured bandit and set off for Hongxi Town. Meanwhile, Angus had already begun his preparations. That night's total lunar eclipse would complete the tetrad cycle, and at midnight, the underworld police station's defenses would be at their weakest. This was the perfect moment for him to use human bodies to unleash the lost souls. By the time the sheriff and Jeanne arrived at the church in the town, it was already abandoned. Suddenly, a cry for help came from inside a carriage. They found the town's sole survivor, who told them that Angus had captured all the residents and taken them to the mine in the mountains, intending to transform them into his kind. As midnight approached, Angus stood by, waiting for the gate of evil spirits to slowly open. He ordered his minions to bring all the captured townspeople. Soon, the entrance of the cave suddenly collapsed. In response to Angus's summoning, countless undead spirits burst out of the cave and possessed the bodies of the townspeople. In no time, nearly everyone had become hosts to the dead spirits. At this critical moment, the sheriff and his team arrived and launched an attack against the possessed townspeople. Suddenly, Angus flashed past them. The sheriff attempted to chase him down, but was blocked by a giant brute who knocked away his gun. With no choice, the sheriff engaged in hand-to-hand combat. However, the sheer size difference between them made the fight incredibly difficult. The sheriff had to fight while retreating, but in the end, he was pinned down at the entrance of the cave. At the last moment, Jeanne leaped into the air, performing a 360-degree mid-air flip while simultaneously dropping holy water into the evil spirit gate. As she landed, she swiftly eliminated the brute with a single strike. The evil spirit gate began to close, sucking countless undead spirits back into the cave. The ground returned to its original state, and the two believed the crisis was over. However, Angus suddenly emerged from behind them. He removed his hat and transformed into his true form, Astaroth, absorbing the surrounding spiritual energy from the dead souls. At that moment, the sheriff noticed a 4-barreled shotgun nearby. He picked it up and coordinated with Jeanne. The sheriff provided cover fire, but to his dismay, even underworld weapons had no effect on the demon. However, their attack succeeded in drawing Astaroth's attention. Jeanne seized the opportunity to grab her holy sword and charge at the demon, but she was quickly ensnared by his tentacles, unable to move. The sheriff was also tightly bound. The demon continued to drain their energy, leaving them completely powerless. Suddenly, the torches on the wall reignited, momentarily distracting the demon. Jeanne took the chance to tear off the holy cross from her neck. The demon's power was instantly suppressed. The sheriff fell to the ground, entangled with Jeanne. But before they could react, the demon lunged forward again, grabbing Jeanne by the throat and attempting to kill her with her own holy sword. At that moment, the sheriff spotted a vial of holy water on the ground. He quickly picked it up and poured it into the shotgun's barrel. With unwavering resolve, he rushed forward. The demon attacked again, but the sheriff performed an 18-roll maneuver to dodge before raising his shotgun and firing. In the end, the demon's soul was completely obliterated and the crisis was resolved. The surviving townspeople were saved. Later, the sheriff discovered that the person who had shot him earlier was actually the survivor from the carriage. However, upon learning that the man had mistaken him for a bandit, the sheriff let go of any resentment. With their mission complete, the sheriff and Jeanne regrouped and set out once again on their journey to capture lost souls.